Hello, welcome to another episode of this Business Talk series. Today, I have the pleasure of having a conversation with someone that I consider my friend, but also it's someone that I respect, I admire, not only because he's professional, amazing professional trajectory, but also because of his humanity, leadership, and community service that he role models for many of us. He is the CEO and co-founder of Parra and Company Engineers, a boutique civil engineering firm headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. With over 20 years of experience, Eduardo brings a powerful blend of technical expertise and strategic leadership, guiding public sector and private clients through complex projects. In addition to that, he has served the board of many organizations, including being the trustee of the San Antonio Water System, and he is also the immediate past chair of the Opera San Antonio. Eduardo, welcome and thank you so much for your time today.
Carolina, thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure being in your podcast.
Thank you. So, Eduardo, I just want to start this conversation with a personal experience. I would love you to share what was that thing that led you to focus on community service the way you do it.
I was raised in Venezuela, and the school that I attended to, Antonio Rosmini, Maracaibo, um, serving was the way to go. We had so many volunteer positions and we were encouraged always to do a volunteer position. And since I have memory, I remember volunteering to raise the flag or volunteering for the conservation committee or volunteering to go pick, trash and on the fields and make sure everything was clean. And then it was the different boards there at the school. So I guess that's how everything started. I like the fact that I was getting new friends, and these friends share the same values than me. So I think I got hooked there very early.
So, you serve on multiple boards. For someone listening who wants to make an impact, why is joining a board such a powerful move, both for personal growth and professional visibility?
But personally, actually helps you grow, helps you meet people that perhaps are at a higher level that you currently are. So you have to step to the plate. You also get to learn skills. Every board, for example, have a treasurer, right? And that treasurer, if you're not an expert in finances, you're going to learn a lot from what kind of questions that treasurer ask. You can ask that to yourself in your own household, right? Managing your own finances. And if you have a company, then you can question yourself, are we applying this at our firm? If not, why not? I see it's working here and I'm getting this expertise from this board member. You can also put your own personal note. Now, on the professional way, um, I've enjoyed very much collaborating on teams that I can make an impact. um, at the opera, when I was recruited, they wanted someone that was a member of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So I was on the board of the Hispanic Chamber, so as a member of the Hispanic Chamber, but participating in many committees. And I recall asking myself the question of, well, if I join this, or can I make an impact on it? And looking back 11 years, yes, we did. Yes, we were able to make an impact. We were able to create a company in 10 years that is the level three opera company. And from my point of view, we were able to bring two operas in Spanish that I really love seeing. And perhaps without me there, that may or not have happened. So I like to think that there's a little grain, there's a little something that I was able to put there from the professional side. It also helped me get a new network, right, of professional friends that are in different areas that now I can use as peers when I have questions, when I have questions about my own business. I typically don't like asking for advice, but I like to ask, hey, what has it worked for you when you have been in this situation? And those friends from board are kind of pre-vetted because somebody else select them to be there with you. So that's a couple of things that I like.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. And I think people should realize that yes, when you serve a board, yes, you are doing community service. You are helping advance a cause that hopefully you care about, but at the same time, you are um, broadening basically the network of people that you have. And that is important for your professional development, no matter if you are an entrepreneur, a business owner, or just have a career in, let's say, corporate America, right?
Correct.
So let's talk about those benefits of being on a board. Can you speak to how it helped you build meaningful relationships or open unexpected doors?
I've met so many professionals on boards that otherwise I wouldn't have met. For example, uh, not quite a board, but I'm also the honorary commander for the Inter-American Air Forces Academy. It's called the IAFA here in San Antonio. It's 80 years old. It's older than the Air Force itself. Um, and we train about 250 people a year from the allied Central and South American Air Forces. Um, Also police, also military from our sister agencies. So it's been a pleasure meeting with all of those generals and colonels and understanding a little bit more on how our defense is built, our democracy, it's not free, right? They get to defend it. They get to step in the line for us. And I wouldn't have been able to meet such level military members if it wasn't for my involvement here on a board. And remember, boards is about giving back. Okay, it's about giving your expertise, and that expertise could be on many different angles. It could be um, that you have a geographical expertise, for example, for a company that is in Texas but wants to expand elsewhere, right? It could be that you have a specific talent on a specific technical area that they can use. Or it could be that you're for certain demographic, like Latino, for example, for a company that would like to produce elements to that community. So, anyway, it's about giving back. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and it should be that way. So, what are the things that any professional should consider before joining a board? Because at the end of the day, it's a commitment of time and energy that we are doing. So, what are the things that they should evaluate to make sure that time, talent, or skills and values are aligned?
I would say is it something that you're passionate about? Okay, so those the costs that uh, nonprofit, for example, of that company or whatever board you're looking for, those their costs moves you. Okay, that's number one. Number two, can you make a change if you were to join, or can you just support their mission on whatever you're gonna do with your skills, with your time? You need to check and be honest with yourself if you have actually time to do it, because some boards are a big commitment. Um, so those three, I think they're very important to me when I'm looking at, do I want to participate on a board? I also very important expanding on the time factor. You typically don't join a board to be there for a year. Okay, typically board terms are from a couple of years to a few years, and many of them you could be voted for another tenure, right? For another season. So, I've been on the board of the opera for close to 10, 11 years actually. And I was on the board of the San Antonio water system for over 6 years. And there were many other boards that my involvement was at least 4 years. So sometimes it's hard to make change or help on 1 year. Okay. And sometimes it's a multi-year thing. And especially the first year, you're just getting to learn how is it to be on a board and whether or not you can be impactful and how the mechanics of that board happen. Right. So keep that in mind when you're looking at commitment to join.
That is very important because um, personal experience. A few years ago, I joined the board of an organization, and it was the first time that I joined a board. So I was very excited about making an impact, and I wanted to make a recommendation, of course, on my about the skills that I know I have, storytelling, marketing, and it wasn't that easy. The process was very slow compared to the expectations that I had. So I had to adjust and okay, relax, chill out a little bit, and okay, be consistent with the work. And then little by little, you are going to be able to help and make an impact. So, you know that mm, very much a great part of the network that I have, they are entrepreneurs, business owners. So I would like you to give an advice to business owners or entrepreneurs that has that little seed, that little spark they want to serve the community in any way. What will be your recommendation?
Well, start small, start local, but think big. Okay. I would say your chamber of commerce is often the first step. Um, You can engage in policy there or a small business committee. Sometimes you can start at the membership committee and get to know a bunch of other people, right? I remember once I even was a social chair. So I would put together the happy hours. And as you move and as you start finding your niche, you can chair certain committees. I remember I was very passionate about sustainability. So I was a chair of the Energy and Sustainability Committee, right? So you get to do a little bit of what you like. The other thing is you need to know your why. Why is it that you're volunteering your time, right? Why is it that you want to be involved with this organization? Whether it's education, equity, infrastructure, the arts, you need to do something where your contribution will become meaningful and strategic. Okay, so that's what I would say. There are also organizations that will provide you a lot of education once you get your feet wet and and you want a little bit more. Um, Joining an organization like LBAN, where you and I met, Caro, the Latino
Network for those who don't know what ELPAN stands for.
Latino Business Action Network, and it's a lovely class out of Stanford Business School. It's actually a challenging class for us entrepreneurs, and will get you to work a lot on things for your business. Also, the LCDA, which is the Latino Corporate Director Association. That's one that I really enjoy. It's very educational. They will have a lot of opportunities for you to engage with directors and ask them one-on-one questions. I just came out of a session that I was facilitating for them. They also have the Bree Institute, where you can go and learn about being a board member. Um, Another organization that I love is a U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and that will give you a national platform, especially if you can use it both an entrepreneur for your business and to be able to mingle with other organizations that perhaps you could help serve. That's a win-win. So highly recommend all of those. Start local, but think big.
Thank you. I think that's great. And yeah, definitely um that can be very helpful. Very, very helpful. So, going back to the local environment, we are in San Antonio, Texas. So, this city has its own unique culture and community needs. So, from your perspective, what opportunities do you see here for more people, especially Latinos, to step in these type of leadership roles?
Okay, the opportunities are limitless. Okay, you basically, what's the big difference of governments between a European government and an American government, right? Typically, American government is a lot smaller. Will take care of individuals' basic needs. Okay, and then the nonprofits go around and fill in for a lot of those human needs, for social aspect, for arts, and for many others. So if you have a talent or a curiosity, go, and perhaps you'll have to start as a board member. Perhaps you can start volunteering at a committee and actually make sure there is alignment with that organization. There's a lovely organization, for example, called Project Mend. They're the largest medical reuse facility in Texas, second largest in the nation. So what they do is that they go and take use wheelchairs and other medical equipment, and they clean it up, refurbish it, and donate it to people that can afford it. So it's a lovely mission. So, learn about them, go volunteer, see if you like what they're doing. If you like, well, you can contribute in many ways. You can give a gift, right? That's a way to contribute. You can write a check and contribute. You can ask for volunteer more. You can ask to see if they have room on their board. Okay. Um, hey, the Girl Scouts. That's another fantastic organization here in town. The Scouts in San Antonio serve actually many counties, not only San Antonio. Um, and is such a powerful organization, giving leadership to these young ladies, right? As they're being formed, and so like that are so many nonprofit organizations. Technical, for example, then you get the city. The city of San Antonio has a website where it lists all the boards that you can throw your hat there, and many of them are appointments per your where you live, right, your city council district. So planning and zoning, for example, is one of those. There's so many to list. Many of the parks have boards. Okay. um so just look at your passion, go volunteer for a little, and see if that's going to be a fit for you. Um, Myself, for example, I have been involved here locally at the World Affairs Council in San Antonio. Love the World Affairs Council. Basically, it brings San Antonio to the world and the world to San Antonio. Everything has to do with diplomacy, all of the ambassadors, all of those conversations about global politics, geopolitics, economics happen at the World Affairs Council. The Brackenridge Park Conservancy. Well, we have a park here that is half the size of New York Central Park, right in the heart of San Antonio, and it's the Brackenridge Park. It's a beautiful organization to be a part of. And like that, there's so many that we can just go through the list, and I get excited about it because I say that's fun. Contributing, giving a little back to the community, and hanging out with those people that have your same values.
Thank you so much, Eduardo, for taking the time to have this conversation with me today. I know that you're very busy, but I consider that it's really, really special what you just shared today. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Carolina. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you to Tres Lopez for everything that you guys do. I love your work. I think is of such a high quality. And thank you for inviting me to your podcast.